Time for the super chats. Yeah?
Let's get to the super chats.
All right. First one from Devon, a.k.a. Schoolboy Beats, who says, same thing Nurse did versus the Mavs in the fourth. Let Ricky walk so he can turn into Jeremy Grant or Isaiah Joe for a different team. Might be putting the cart before the horse there on Ricky in general, and we still don't know what the plan is for whether they're going to convert him or not. I was certainly a little surprised he didn't play tonight, and I thought it was interesting that Jeff Doughton, who Nick was obviously familiar with from their time together in Toronto and liked quite a bit, and I saw praised when he was asked about it after signing here, but I'm not going to read too far into it yet. It's one game where they're banged up and they need a guard play. I would also say if Doughton is more of a guard and has guard skills, one of the things that has led them to success lately, multiple guards on the floor, multiple ball handlers, being able to play Tyrese and Kyle Lowry. Now, I don't know that I would give Doughton the benefit of the doubt to say, hey, let's put him in that same category, and that just they need more ball handling. So we'll see what happens there. But
well, I was a little surprised that Doughton got in. It was more of, okay, if you're going to go with another ball handler, yes, we've seen Turk really struggle in moments, in spots, trying to bring the ball up and get through the offense and all. I was a little surprised that he got the nod over Turk Smith in this particular game for this one, just to see how it would work. And Doughton's minutes weren't awful, but it was just more of, oh, okay, he got the nod before Turk Smith did. And as far as Ricky goes for this particular game, yes, you just needed the extra body, and then you also see where sometimes they're lagging a bit with some of their energy was good overall, but hey, they may need a little spark, and that spark comes from maybe KJ Martin getting the dunk there, or some other play, that the big shot that Kyle Lowry makes about 35 feet away from the basket up against the clock that Pat Beverly not only wouldn't take, but probably doesn't have the range to get a good shot off like that to make it. But I thought, again, Ricky might get the call here tonight, front end of a back-to-back, but maybe that just means we'll see him tomorrow against a more athletic and lengthy team, where he might call his number for that one.
Yeah, it's weird. On the one hand, I thought KJ played okay.
Just that one miss he had, he should have made it right there at the cup.
But in a game where you have to go small for a lot because Mo was in foul trouble and pretty horrible before then anyway, it would have been nice to have seen just some energy, some rebounding, someone to get to the free throw line and attack the rim. I would have liked to have seen Ricky. I'd like to see Ricky play almost every game, but especially on a night like tonight where you're so shorthanded and you need a small player to play bigger, up a few positions. Yeah, I don't love him not playing.
Heard the Sixers can only pay Kelly Oubre 120% of his current salary. Does that mean unlikely re-signing since another team will give him mid-level exception?
So, not true. First of all, they can use cap space to sign him if they want. Then they can use their mid-level, whether that's the room mid-level or the non-taxpayer mid-level, depending on who they renounce. But the room mid-level would be around $5 million per year. So basically they can renounce their guys, sign someone with cap space, then they would have a $5 to $6 million, I forget exactly what it is, starting salary, room mid-level exception that you can use to sign somebody else. That could be Kelly if they choose to. Like I said, or they can just use cap space, or if they don't renounce all those guys and they're never go below the cap, then they can just use their standard mid-level exception. But they would have to use an exception or cap space. That's true, because 120%, as much as I am down on Kelly, 120% of the minimum is probably not going to be what it takes to get it done. That being said, if he's making a significant, let's put it this way, I would be less enthusiastic to be in on Kelly's next contract than I was on the minimum deal he's currently playing on. I would be very, very worried about that next contract.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think this is probably another show, another day, way later in the year. But I am kind of curious what the market will be for Kelly, because even though he's on a minimum deal and the expectations have been set here as a result of that, and so nights like this feel really good, ultimately we've been on the Kelly Oubre roller coaster this whole season, right? Like there have been weeks at a time where we just sit here and are like, man, I can't watch that guy anymore. And then he has 2 games like he just did back to back, and you say, oh, I can fix him. They can fix him. They can do it. So I don't
That
know.
being said, like I don't think he's getting much more than $5 million starting salary. Like if
I agree.
even if they use go the cap space route, they only have the room mid level. I don't think he's going to make more because I don't think he's fundamentally changed the narrative around him, and the narrative around him only got him a minimum deal. So I don't think this is really something you have to worry about. That being said, if it is something you have to worry about, then I wouldn't want to be in on Kelly's next contract, so I wouldn't worry about it too much either way. But answering the question, they can use cap space or they can use one of their mid-levels to get around that.
All right, let's get to our final super chat. Liam Stevens checking in. Does the loss tonight make for positive 21 Joel Embiid news?
Liam, I love the spin zone on this. You have a future in political PR if you ever choose to go that route, but I don't think the two are related. First of all, I'm just hoping we get news at all. I know the Sixers said in 4 weeks, but with them,
Tomorrow is technically 4 weeks, right?
Tomorrow is 4 weeks to the day from surgery.
Well, according to Devon, it has been 2 months because you always say January 7th.
If we can fast forward that, then yes, that would be great.
So the 6th is exactly a month. It would be nice, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Sixers, to get a formal update on Joel. I will say, at least I feel like we've been mostly in tune with what's going on with Joel. It helped to talk to him individually. That was great. We got a sense of where he's at. Now this is the next step. Like, hey, are we going to hear the word ramping up or ramp or
of course we are.
Tony Hawk or Bob Burnquist? Go through a list of skateboarders. I don't know, but I would like to hear something, just even a tiny morsel from the Sixers tomorrow. We shall see. It will be vague as always if they actually do say anything.
We all silly like the mayor.